Night School is the new Kevin Hart movie that stars Kevin Hart and is the newest entry in the ever-increasing genre of Kevin Hart comedies, starring such films as The Wedding Ringer, Get Hard, Ride Along 1 and 2, Central Intelligence Agency, and Jumanji. Well, now we get to add Night School to that list. All of these films, for the rest of the video, I will be referring to as the KCU, the Kevin Cinematic Universe, which is different, of course, from the other KCU, the Kevin James Cinematic Universe, or the KJCU. It doesn't matter. Let's get into it. This is the Night School movie review.
He's a bad cat, a cool cat. Nope.
The writing in this movie is generic. It stars Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish, or Teddy, who's the high school dropout, and Carrie, who's the night school teacher. We follow Teddy as he tries to get his GED so he can go from a job at a barbecue shop to a new job in finance. But also, there is the B-plot, where Teddy is dating a girl who is above his league, but she thinks Teddy's rich. So now, Teddy must lie to her about him getting his degree and being rich. This movie, it's pretty much as formulaic as they come. You will see every plot point coming a mile away. In short, there is no tension or surprise, there is only Kevin Hart. Speaking of Kevin Hart, let's talk about characters. In this movie, these are some of the most boring characters I've ever seen. Kevin Hart's character is Kevin Hart. The lesson he learns is the lesson that every character with a liar-revealed redemption arc learns in every movie ever. In short, don't be a lying asshole. Tiffany Haddish plays Tiffany Haddish.
He thinks he's going to be able to do the things that he's been doing by hustling, fast-talking, and charming the teacher, but his teacher happens to be Tiffany Haddish.
Everyone else in the movie plays one-note stereotypes. Now, stereotypes are different from characters because where characters are made by considering what makes a person tick and what motives drive them to do the things that they do. Stereotypes are made by putting a bunch of adjectives in a hat and picking them at random. But the biggest problem in this movie is that it's a comedy that's not funny. And while that is not entirely bad, it really depends on the jokes being fired so fast that you don't notice when a joke doesn't work. Night School thought about this rule of comedy, considered it for about 5 minutes, and then jumped on its head and broke its kneecaps. Night School finds a joke it likes, and it runs with it for 5 excruciating minutes as the joke becomes less and less funny.
Yo, what you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? You gonna take my car with my baby in the back? Ain't no baby in there. Right there. Wah.
Like a bombing comedian who won't accept that his material is terrible. And as it gets less and less funny, you can see the pain in his eyes growing until all that's left is a shadow of a man. A shallow clown. 3 out of 10.
He's too hip. He likes his catnip, but look out.
The acting in this movie is fine. No one does especially terrible, but then again, no one does especially good either. With the exception of one man. Taran Killam, I hope I'm saying that right, who plays a man simply known as Stuart. Stuart is hands down the best part of this movie. Every time Stuart is on screen, he is loving it. He takes attention away from everyone else. He has a third nipple. He carries a bat. Simply put, Stuart is no mere mortal, but a god among the average acting of this movie. Even when Stuart is given bad material to work with, through sheer willpower, Stuart makes every scene as weird as possible and pretty much saves the acting of this movie from being completely average. Normally, the acting would get a 5, exactly average, but Stuart brings it to a 6, a little above average. Good job, Stuart.
Comes Garfield. He's always got to be.
The cinematography in this movie is to movies what John Cusack is to presidential elections. It's boring, predictable, and doesn't do anything to set itself apart from the heaps of other bland comedies out there. For example, if the movie is showing a conversation between 2 people, it will consist only of over-the-shoulder shots. The movie's typical shot pattern goes as follows. Over the shoulder shot, medium shot, over the shoulder shot, medium shot, over the shoulder shot, medium shot, wide establishing shot of the new scene, rinse and repeat. It's the type of cinematography that would make a film student graduate down on their luck kill themselves. But, to be fair, this is from the dude who made Race to Witch Mountain and Men in Black 2, so what do I know? this movie did have one cool shot, where it spiced things up a little by taking the normal over-the-shoulder shot and following the shot as it switched over to a medium shot. That was cool. That was cool. It's pretty average. It's average. It's terribly average. It gets a 5 out of 10.
And he will beat you to the punch every time.
Enjoyability is really where this movie suffers the most, because even bad movies can be enjoyable. The Room is a movie I'd recommend to everybody.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So is The Meg, and those movies are objectively terrible. Average movies are the worst kind of movie, because they're not even ironically enjoyable. They just suck the day away like some Lovecraftian monster that feeds on indifference. Night School is the definition of what I'd call a plain movie, because it's the type of movie that distracts you just enough to not notice that you're hurling through the sky in a metal tube thousands of feet in the air. So enjoyability, I'd give a 2 out of 10.
Give up anything for lasagna.
Night School is just as average as every other KCU film so far, except Jumanji. That was actually pretty good. Its plot, it's predictable. Its characters are bland and unbelievable. The cinematography is average, and it kinda makes me want to die, like, just a little bit. But the worst part about this movie, by far, is that there's nothing notable about it. Not even bad notable about it. Night School proudly stands as a mediocre comedy that not even Three-Nippled Stewart can save. Overall, 4 out of 10, below average. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you will continue to watch movies. You can like, subscribe, share it with your friends, all that jazz, and link to all the social stuff will be in the description.